Good afternoon and welcome to today's video, which is part 2 of the coil and ignition amplifier replacement. Now, in the last video you saw me attaching a revised earth wire to the block that holds the ignition amplifier, and at the beginning of this video I'm just taking the ignition amplifier plug, which you can see here, and applying a relatively liberal amount of contact cleaner just to try and get that cleaned up a bit. I'm also giving the whole general area that the aluminium plate mounts to a bit of a clean up, as it is covered in 30 years worth of grime. So to clean this up I'm just using simple cloth to get things clean and a bit of contact cleaner, which once the area is clean you can actually get around to first off mounting in your ignition amplifier, as I've done here. One thing that might be useful to do is to actually remove all of the wiring out of the way so you can get the coil in. So what I'm doing here is I'm just moving the low tension side of the coil, the wiring connector that sits on the actual amplifier plate, and the yeah, there you go, there's the two low tension coil plugs, and there's the plug for the amplifier itself. So we're just zooming out, you can see that they're part of the engine bay. So now I've got the plug for the amplifier in, the wiring connector for that earth point is also plugged in. In fact, also to add, I've put the bullet connector onto the earth point there. What I will be doing at some point in the future is getting into that part of the engine bay again with the soldering iron and actually doing that joint properly. But for the moment this is actually sufficing and has actually sort of done the job that I need it to do. So the next phase is to actually fit the coil. So here's the coil itself. It's a rather nice Lucas coil in this rather nice box. The actual OEM coil is actually a Bosch item, so I'm not sure what the difference is or if one is better than the other, but this particular coil does have Sport written on the side of it, which I'm sure means that it's extra sporty and better and generally superior. Actually, I don't know that for certain. Ideally I should probably be using the Bosch coil, but this coil seems to work. It was actually a little bit cheaper than the Bosch item, and it suits the rest of the car's electrics, being that it is a Lucas item. Now you'll notice on the coil that there is a minus and plus symbol, positive and negative. So what I've had to do is I've actually had to flip the base mounting point there around, and I've actually set the coil back in the mounting point there, mounting bracket, so that the coil can sit quite nicely down there, as you can see. Now the terminals are mounted, low tension terminals, if you look at them, the furthest away one's positive, closest one to you is negative. So I've actually now got the engine running with everything back together. And as you can tell, things are running smoother. Now the idle is still a little bit wobbly, but that's probably down to lack of use and possibly a dodgy idle air control valve, which I'll need to replace or remove the current one and sort of lube up the one that's in there. But there's no misfiring. Before, what I was getting was just intermittent misfires. And there I'm just pointing out the idle air control valve. That's the one that I'll probably be looking at next. But yeah, I was getting intermittent misfires, and it was sort of just sounding a lot lumpier than it was. And when you actually sort of held it at, say, sort of 2000 RPM, it would stutter. It's not doing that now. I mean, it's quite hard to hear over the sound of the fan, but it is, in my view, it is sounding a heck of a lot better than it was. Now, the next stage is to obviously take the car in for its yearly MOT. It would have covered approximately 50 miles since the last one, but I'd like to keep it MOT'd at least once a year because I hope to actually use it this summer for something. But yeah, it's doing a lot better, and I am pleased that the amount of money I spent on all of these components has actually sort of yielded a bit of a positive outcome. Yeah, it's much smoother at sort of part throttle, much smoother in general. So at this point the garage was actually filling up with fumes. it is actually sort of a good idea to only turn the engine on when the garage is well ventilated, and not do what I do and turn the engine on and run the car with the rear windows and doors of the garage closed. So going round to the driver's side now, I'm actually going to turn the car off and get a nice shot of the dashboard as well. And there we go. So that is actually the end of today's video. If you've liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also consider subscribing for more upcoming fascinating hobbies.